Let Walton Goggins be Freya's son.
Let him be Mimir.
Ooh,
yeah, who's gonna be Mimir, dude?
Oh shit, I didn't think about Mimi. Oh shit.
It's gonna be Jack Black. Look at me, I'm a hand.
No.
Welcome to ARP, the newest podcast on the Super SpikeGhetti Bros podcasting network. I'm Mike, and with me as always is my brother Jason. Hello, Jason.
Yo, we're so back.
We're so back. Episode dos, or two, if you don't know Spanish like I do. Jason, what's two in Japanese?
Ni.
Episode ni.
Art in Mandarin.
Wait, what is it in Mandarin?
Er? Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
I thought you made like a dog bark noise the first time you said it. I thought you were like arp.
Yeah. I probably said it weird.
Yeah,
I haven't spoken Mandarin in a long time.
It's okay. You actually don't speak Mandarin. You suck. It's fine. So anyway,
true.
Welcome everybody to episode 2. Thank you everybody for the kind and warm regards for our first episode, which was a lot of fun.
True.
I want to first, before we get into the episode, I want to yell at the company Razer. Because
true. Oh my God, true.
There were a couple moments, quite a few moments, I don't know if you guys realized in last week's episode, where Jason's audio, like there would be a big skip in his speech, and it was because he had some weird Razer fucking malware shit on his computer.
Bruh.
That was causing...
They have like 3 different softwares for Razer that like automatically installs for just my mouse. It's like Synapse, like Interface, and Cortex, and it's like, bro, what the hell?
And so it's a problem you'd been having for a while now, and you couldn't figure it out. And we were
like, it was like causing issues in other projects I'm like trying to do and like wanting to stream. Like,
right,
you can't stream having your audio hiccup like every 10 seconds. That's awful.
And it made editing the episode a nightmare. And so I was like looking up like external podcast recorders because it was like we thought it was this crazy PC issue, and then I just happened to like start troubleshooting it from my computer, and I was just like, hey, do you have any like third-party software stuff like running like on your computer? And he just sniped it. First one you disabled, it was a Razer one, and it fixed the problem.
Old school task manager, Control-Alt-Delete, pull up the task manager, and just was like, you know what, this one seems like a overused or like an underutilized like
something you
software
don't need.
No one needs. Yeah.
And it fixed it. So this episode is being brought to you audio skip free, at least from Jason's perspective.
No thanks to Razer.
Yeah, fuck you, Razer. We don't want an ad read for you.
I do really like my Death Adder mouse. But fuck you.
It sucks. Episode 2 here. We promised last week that we would dive into the newly released Coheed and Cambria album, The Father of Make Believe, which came out on Friday. I at midnight on Thursday just straight up, went balls deep and listened to it 3 times before I went to bed.
Damn.
In a row.
That's like as many times as I listen to it now.
Yeah. Jay got sick.
I got sick on Friday. Coincidence? Maybe I'm saying fuck you.
Dude, okay, wait. I have a theory. The Razer third-party software transferred into your body.
Oh my God. So I had to uninstall it from my body.
Right. That had to have been what happened.
Fucking Razor, dude.
Dude, Razor. So you've only listened to this album a few times.
Yeah.
I'm
glad I didn't listen to it Thursday night, because then it's like, I'm trying to listen to it and then I'm like sick. I would have like associated the album with like one of the worst sicknesses ever, bro. Like,
yeah, that would have been tough.
Yeah.
But I associate this album with, spoilers, it's awesome. It's really good. I really enjoy the album. It feels like the culmination of a lot of things for this band. The last two albums were really good, but this one, to me, and I am kind of a like, oh, it's fresh in my mind, so I think of it more highly kind of person. But as of right now, I do feel like it's my favorite album they've made since Afterman, at least. And maybe even since No World for Tomorrow. Which
I don't know if I agree with that. I really like both the Afterman albums. I don't know.
It's funny you say that, because a lot of people are calling this album Afterman 3, Part 3, because there's a lot of references to, and we're not going to get super into the lore, because honestly, I don't really know the lore of the last 3 albums, but the first song, the first song opens with a version of The Hollow from Afterman. Before the track Welcome to Forever Mr. Nobody, which is the first song in the continuum, you hear the All-Mother, which is the AI computer from the Afterman. And if you don't know what I'm talking about right now, which is highly likely, you're like, what is happening? And then the end of the album, the last song, ends with an orchestral version of Predalethal from Afterman Part 2. Did you catch that?
No, I didn't catch that part, because I was like, okay, like I listened to the like outro. It felt like an end credits thing.
Yes.
Yes. Like I felt like I was like just got done playing Kingdom Hearts or something.
Yeah.
Like this like after the battle like orchestral version of something playing.
Well,
but I didn't put my finger on it that it was from Afterman.
Yeah, it's the one that's like, who will repair this broken heart?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's that, but it's like an orchestral version of it. Sorry for my terrible singing. It's funny you said the end credits thing, because I said this to Fabio, our good friend, who's a big Coheed fan as well, that this is the first time since Good Apollos 1 and 2 where I felt like at the end of the album I had just watched like a good movie and can't wait for the sequel. You know what I mean? And a lot of it is because the way they chose to do that last big thing. But yeah,
that makes sense.
I really like the album. It has some really good tracks. I'm really curious to hear what you think of it after a few listens. What stood out to you?
I would say my favorite song is probably Father of Make Believe after a few listens.
The title track.
Yeah, I really like this, like, there's like this like the guitar starts with like this 4-strummed rhythm beat, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then it gets like transferred into the bass drum, and like the bass drum carries it, and then like into the chorus, like the guitar takes it again for a second, and then it's like gone for like the second part of the chorus, but then it comes back immediately in the second verse. And I don't know, I just really like that like driving of that rhythm. And yeah, I really like the song overall. I'd say my second favorite is probably Tethered Together.
Yeah. I'm obsessed with Tethered Together. I think that song.
I will say my first time listening to it. So like, this is like 4 songs of the continuum, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is number 3, right?
That's correct. Yep. And
so like normally these like ones where it's like all got the same name, like it's just like dark and shit, like you're just it just is like super serious that whole time, right? Like it's like very like lore driven type of songs, right? At least that's like the vibe that I have in my head, right? Like the image in my head. And the beginning, going from the end of The Flood into the beginning of Tethered Together, it's got this like piano thing, and I've always been super into the like piano stuff that they do in their songs.
Well, did you recognize that melody, Jay?
No. I didn't listen to that.
That's
that
the beginning of Domino.
Oh, okay.
So again, another Afterman callback in this album.
And so I've always been a fan of the piano stuff, and then the like acoustic guitar that like comes in for a second, or like by itself right after, felt like such a like tonal whiplash of where I felt like the song was going, but like only for a split second, because once the lead guitar comes in, I'm like, okay, this makes more sense now. But like there's like this like, I don't know, maybe like one measure of just acoustic guitar.
It's like
where
it's like picked strangely, and it sounds a little like not honky tonk, but like a little like hillbilly almost, like
right. It's like when like Led Zeppelin gets into that weird like bluegrass shit,
right,
like a little bit. Like that's how it kind of felt for a second, and I was like,
but it's only for a second. You're right.
Yeah. And then I was like, okay, we're back. And then it ended up being probably like my either first or second favorite. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I really like Tethered Together as well. Neither of those two you mentioned are my favorite though. My favorite. Can you guess what my favorite is actually?
Is it one of the singles?
No. Even though I do, Searching for Tomorrow is up there, but that's not. It's not one of my favorite.
This one's like kind of a curveball. Is it Mary of Mercy?
No.
Okay. I was like, because
I do like that song too, though.
Do you know what that song reminds me of? That song reminds me of Peace to the Mountain.
Yeah,
like it feels like The Color Before the Sun, and you really like that song.
I do.
And so I was like,
I do.
Maybe it's like it's a callback to Peace to the Mountain.
No.
We always call it Face to the Mountain because of League.
Yeah. Face. Whenever I would play a character that would build Face to the Mountain, I would sing it. Face to the mountain, yeah, I'm gonna buy it. Like every time I'd buy it. No, my favorite song is Play the Poet. That song fucking rips.
I like that song. I don't really like the like spoken word part that they do. Like
he repeats that line over and over.
Yeah. But then the part right after just rips so hard that I don't really care.
So Coheed is
like
such
the screaming.
Yeah, Coheed's such a unique band. And this is their like, and they've done kind of this before because like obviously they started as kind of like a post-hardcore kind of thing, and they've evolved into what they are now. But this is like, to me, their take on like a contemporary post-hardcore song, like a Hail the Sun, like a even a Dance Gavin Dance, even though Dance Gavin Dance has their own formula and they're weird, but like that kind of band.
Yeah.
And I really like it. I think it rips really hard. I really like the lyrics. There's something, I was saying this to Tara, because Tara actually texted me because she started listening to it at work, and she goes, yo, Play the Poet fucking rips. And I was like, oh my God, that's what I said too. I was telling her, like, he's such like a dweeb, Claudio, you know, like he's just like, he's this goofy, nerdy dude that loves the really nerdy things. But he has this way of like writing words that are like really aggressive and, kind of fuck you, man. And it works somehow if you like see the guy, if you see the guy for 2 seconds, well, first you notice his hair, but then you'll go, man, this guy's just like a dweeb, right? But like with something about when he says the F word, dude, he means it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he got some stank when he says
it.
Yeah.
There's just always something about when he cusses, like from the beginning. I don't know why. Maybe it's because he seems like this like super nice like nerdy dude, and so when he goes off, it's like, oh shit, right? I don't know.
Right.
But the chorus, I love the chorus of that song.
For sure.
Born to play the poet, fire your words like bombs and bullets, and aim for my head. Go ahead, aim for my head. And it's like, oh shit, what is that? You know?
Yeah.
Super cool. And I really, what I really love about it too is, you know, Blindside Sunny was one of the first single they released, which is a very different song for Coheed. It's very aggressive and very short and very punk and but they do this thing where those two songs fit together with this crazy like drum track. And I remember listening to Blindside Sunny for the first time and hearing that like that drum machine, and I was like, ooh, what's going on there? What's what's gonna happen after that? And what was gonna happen after that was the song I liked the most on the album, and it's Play the Poet. And the way I love listening to those two songs together now. Where before Blindside Sunny, I was like, this is good, but I'm mixed on it. Now together, I'm like, oh shit, this is like a thing. So I really love that song. I really love Goodbye Sunshine, which is another song that kind of sounds like a Color Before the Sun era thing. And there's a lot of lyrics in that song. Like he's like speaking like singing like a mile a minute, but I really like the lyrics in that song, and I really like what that song represents.
I feel like with Goodbye Sunshine, because like I haven't like listened to a ton of Coheed a lot recently, like at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it goes in waves, right?
The last time I really listened to a lot of Coheed was like during our subathon when we were like listening to The Wheel, and like we have a bunch of Coheed on there. Like that's the last time I listened to any substantial amount of Coheed, and so like. The first song plays, and like I like the intro part. I don't like the acoustic part very much. Like it felt overly long to me. Like it felt like it overstayed its welcome a bit. I don't know. Maybe I changed my mind on it. It's like an intro song, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But then Goodbye Sunshine comes on, and then I'm just like cheesing listening to this because it's like as far as like the formula of the song. It's like a quintessential like Coheed formula.
Yeah.
Like it's like watching like a OG wrestler come out. Like you got like Ric Flair come back, and he just hits it like as good as you remember he hits it type thing, right? Yeah. And like you know it's coming, and you know what he's gonna say, and you know what he's gonna do, and it makes exact sense that he's saying it, but he's saying it exactly right in the same way you remember him saying it when you were young, and like all this shit. Like that's how it felt. Like it felt like I was watching like a wrestling promo, and I was just cheesing, bro. I was like, bro, we're so back. Like the first song, like the intro, like I was like, I don't know, bro. This acoustic, it's like too. Can I get into like? Where's the gain on the guitars? Like I'm like a oonga boonga. We want gain, you know. and then they were like, all right, bet. So here's a Coheed and Cambria song.
I do like that intro track more than you do. I will say that. Because it like, it's a little drawn out because they have the like.
I haven't really like chewed on it, but like that's my initial reaction, you know.
But back to like the Afterman connections, it feels like, and they don't reference this necessarily, but it feels like a companion piece to Subtraction from the first part of Afterman, which is like a very weird ending track for that first part. And it just feels like it's in the spirit of that, and that's why I like it a lot. But other songs, Searching for Tomorrow is like, ever since that came out as a single, I've been listening to that song nonstop. It's incredible.
Oh yeah. Also, I should say I didn't listen to any of the singles because I wanted to go into this like fresh. Because like what happens sometimes is like I'm pretty neurotic about songs that I like, where like I'll just play that shit to death. And like when it's a single, I've done this before with Coheed specifically as well. Like I just listen to the song until like. I just don't like the song anymore, like way earlier than the rest of it. But it's like, if I want to sit down and listen to the album, it's like, it's a super small thing, but it kind of just fucks up my vibe to like skip a song when I want to listen to a whole album. And so like, then I'm like thinking in my head, well, what's the fucking point if I'm just going to skip? You know? Like, even though it's not that deep, right?
Right.
But like, so I purposefully didn't. So this was my very first time hearing it as well, like listening to the whole album. So I didn't have any. The only thing I had heard was I had heard Blindside Sunny once before, right? Mm-hmm. That's the other single.
Well, there's 3 singles. There's Someone Who Can, Blindside Sunny, and Searching for Tomorrow.
Okay. So yeah, I had only heard Blindside Sunny once when we were driving together. So like that was the only like reference I had at all, and I was like kind of like zoning out on purpose while we were driving. And so like I really like the chorus of that song, especially how when he's like saying like out of your mind and he like goes really high.
Out
Really
of your mind, too much to let go, too much to let go. Yeah, dude, that song rips. I like the lead into the chorus. I don't even remember what words he says, but he's like, "You're so ending, ending now," like into the chorus, dude. That part always gets me. Like the guitar's so good. One thing about this album too that I noticed right away when listening to Searching for Tomorrow, and then once we got the whole album out, is Zach Cooper fucking brought it, bro. He like this is like, he's been in the band since Afterman, right? So it's been 12 years, okay?
Right.
And you still have fucking idiots. I couldn't think of a better word. Idiots on the Coheed subreddit being like, man, Zach's nice and all, but I just miss Mike Todd. I miss when Mike Todd was the bassist because he was so good. And it's like, shut the fuck up, dude. It's like the same thing when people are like, oh, man, I miss when Game Grumps was JonTron. It's like Danny has been in Game Grumps 10 times longer than JonTron was at this point. Drop it, bro. And, I mean, JonTron didn't hold up a fucking pharmacy, but, he did some shit that probably wasn't okay. So it's just like, just let Zach have his time, man, and he fucking brings it on this record, dude. He rips so hard. The bass is so clear and, like, crisp, and he'll play these licks, and you're just go, man, this guy's killing it. Like, and every time I listen to the album, I hear another thing where I go, oh, shit, Zach, And you could say that about any of the members of the band. They all have their moments where it's like, this is fucking awesome, Josh always brings it. Travis's leads are killer. Like, everything about the album is so good.
I'd say so far, like, I've only listened to it like 2 or 3 times, and I feel like the drums have really stood out to me on this album. Like, they're just feel very high quality throughout the whole album.
Josh is a monster, dude. I read an interview because I've been reading a bunch of stuff about it, where Claudio was getting interviewed by Paramore's touring guitarist.
Okay.
Just randomly, because he's a big Coheed fan, so he got to interview him.
That's cool. Okay.
And he was he asked about Josh and how Josh is part of the writing process, and Claudio was saying that when he'll write a song, and he'll put like a sometimes a simple beat on it and send it to Josh, right, of what he thinks, and then Josh will come in and do his magic on it. But he was talking about how he was writing Gravity's Union, and he was like playing it.
So for which
back
song?
For Afterman, before Josh came back to the band, he was writing Gravity's Union, and he was crying.
One of my favorite Coheed songs.
He was crying because he felt that song needed Josh Epard's playing on it that much that he was sad. Because he was like, I'm writing this song that would be perfect for him. And that's one of the reasons they reached out to him and said, hey, we want you back in the band. Isn't that crazy? He was crying.
Hooray.
And not because he's like, oh, I miss my friend. He was like, hey, this is the only motherfucker that can play drums on this. I'm so sad. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I was just
like,
it's
just like it's such a shame kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. So I'm glad they made that work, man. And like I said, it's been 12 years. And Coheed, we don't have to have a full discussion on Coheed in general, but they were missing something when he wasn't in the band. No World for Tomorrow was really good. That was the first record without Josh, but that was because Taylor Hawkins played drums on it, and Claudio just said, hey, play it this way, and he was just describing how he thought Josh would play it, right?
Yeah.
And then they brought Chris Penny in for Year of the Black Rainbow, and it didn't work. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't what they needed, and then so they brought Josh back for the next one. And man, it's been great ever since. It's been
pure cinema ever since.
To me, it's been quality's just been continuing to rise and rise. We haven't talked about every song, I guess. You brought up Mary of Mercy, which is just a fun, kind of lovey, good
happy.
Good rhythm. Yeah, exactly. Song.
Yeah.
One Last Miracle is another like kind of classic-y kind of Coheed formula.
I really liked the chorus on that one.
Yep. Corner My Confidence is a high-level acoustic track from Coheed that
it was unoffensive to me. I'm not like in love with it.
they, it feels deeper to me than the last couple times they've done that. Because, like, on the last couple albums, okay, this is, like, getting into a whole different tangent from me, but, like, I have this theory, and I've talked to you about this before, about when artists, especially musical artists' life get good, their life gets, like, better because they're successful, their music gets worse.
Yeah.
Right? Because they don't have, like, at least to me, because they don't have a struggle anymore, like a true struggle. And
it's usually an outlet, right?
Right. It's usually an outlet for your struggles, and they don't struggle anymore. So it's like, what could they possibly, not to say that, people who are successful don't have struggles, but it's not the same, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so he's been kind of writing these songs, these love songs every album about his wife, who he loves, which is great. Not necessarily the music that moves me, right?
Yeah, it's been like unoffensive at best.
I do feel like this song is more than that. It's Corner My Confidence is better than that. It's more of an introspective kind of song that has like a love part tied to it. Like, I just think it's better than the last couple times he's done it,
Well, and like also there's like, because he's writing these as part of like a story as well, it's like, there's love in the story. So, there's going to be a love song kind of thing a lot of times. So that's kind of how I've always thought of it. And they're never like bad. Like, I'm never skipping them, but I wasn't like overly, it's not one of my favorite acoustics.
And then that one goes beautifully into Someone Who Can, which is a great single.
It feels like that song would really slap like in like a summer drive.
Oh my god,
like,
dude!
I've only listened to it in my room, but I was like, this would be like a perfect summer drive song.
I was just gonna say, like, that brings summer, dude. It brings like I got the windows down. I'm chilling with my homies. We're driving down the road. We're on a road trip. It's a great song. And then we get into the continuum, and we talk to we didn't really talk about Welcome to Forever, Mr. Nobody, which a banger of a song.
We talked about it a little bit, and there's this part where it's like the first time he drops Mr. Nobody or whatever, right? And there's this drum rhythm that happens that's like, it's from like Dark Sentencer or something. Like, it's another callback for sure, it feels like. Like, I've heard this exact same drum beat and like the exact same part of the song kind of thing. Like, it activated a neuron.
Yeah. And then The Flood, we talked about The Flood a little bit, and I really like The Flood, but The Flood has this like break in it with this like, I don't know what instrument it is. It's some kind of like organ, it reminds me of the fucking Resident Evil basement noise. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Hold on, I have to find this for you.
No, I could definitely hear it. I feel like it's probably because they're both like supposed to be like a French horn or something, like it's some like synthetic French horn.
Yeah, but it's like a weird sample or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I fucking love it. Like, I'm not hating on it. I actually really enjoy it. I'm like,
Flood. The Flood's the only song where I was like, I don't really have anything to say. And so, like, therefore, I feel like it's right now my least favorite song. I don't know, like not counting the intro, right? Like, I don't know, like, I just didn't have anything to say. Like, I was sitting here, like, listening to the song while we were, like, talking in VC before recording, and I was just like, bro, like, I don't know, like, right now, I don't have anything to say. Like, it's just,
don't have any real thoughts on The Flood.
It's a Coheed song, like. I don't have anything where I'm like sticking a finger at where I'm like, I don't like this part or something. Right. But
well, how do you feel about So It Goes?
So It Goes is one of the ones. It's one of the first songs in a long time that made me literally think like, I want to know what the fuck is going on in the story with this song.
Yeah.
And I haven't had a song make me feel like that since Gravity's Union, which is funny that like we brought it up earlier.
Right.
Like I haven't had a song go like really make me think like I gotta know what's happening context wise. Like what panel am I supposed to be looking at as this song is playing?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah. No, I like So It Goes a lot. I do think though, it's my least favorite song on the album. I think it's like it's clever and it's novel and it's a different kind of Coheed song, right? Like it's not
right.
It's more show tuney, kind of like they did on the last album, but it never gets there for me. It's still good, but it never gets to that point where I'm like, whoa, like I do with most Coheed songs, right? Except the end when it plays Predalethal in the orchestra. Then I'm like, whoa, but like that's not really part of that song, is it? You know?
Yeah.
Like that's I don't know that you can count that.
Well, I was like, when I was listening to these songs the first time, I was literally just like had it on Spotify, had the lyrics up, and I'm just staring at it, right? And while I'm listening, and I'm looking at the lyrics, and then it just has like the little like eighth note symbols like 3 times. Like there's no more lyrics, and I'm like, bro, there's like 2.5 minutes of the song left.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
I'm like trying to scroll down and like it doesn't scroll.
Yeah, no.
Like, what's about to happen?
Had the big outro. I mean, he's been doing that forever now. Where they have been doing that forever. Well, I mean, I say he because like everybody knows Claudio's like the mastermind behind all of it. But
right,
they've been doing that for a long time. Where they have this big like outro.
For sure.
And sometimes it's part of the song, and sometimes it's like this where it's not.
Yeah.
So, Jay, I have formed a tier list of the songs that I'm going to tier list, in my opinion, for everybody.
We're back.
We're back tier listing. We'll start with Yesterday's Lost, it's the intro song. We're going to go in order. I'm going to give this a B.
That's fair.
I think that's fair in there.
Okay, so wait. Are we like doing this like compared to like every Coheed song kind of thing?
No.
Like how past Coheed or just the album?
No, because we're not doing the whole thing. We're just going on this album, what I think I'm not
like
thinking
it's like A tier compared to B tier is just A tier and B tier on this album.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about other Coheed when I do this.
Okay.
There might be a day where we do a full Coheed tier list, but that's gonna be a hell of a day.
Yeah.
Goodbye Sunshine, S tier. Love Goodbye Sunshine. Great song.
Yeah, that's good. Yep.
Oh wait, it stopped being in order.
Searching for Tomorrow.
Yes. Searching for Tomorrow. Top of S tier.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd be surprised if you put it below Goodbye Sunshine.
No,
personally.
Absolutely not. Up next we have, I should know the order of this, The Father of Make Believe. I like this song. I'm not as high on it as you are, or Fabio also said this was his favorite track.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which is funny to me because I think it sounds a lot like Vaxis 1, and he doesn't like Vaxis 1. I'm going to put it A tier, though. I think it's a good song.
Yeah, I guess it kind of does sound like Vaxis 1.
Yeah. Up next, we have
Mary of
Mercy, which I think is a B song, but I'll put it above the intro. That's how I feel. I think it's good.
That seems fair.
I think it's
fair.
Blindside
You can't have
Sunny,
everything in A and S tier, guys.
No, I could. Blindside Sunny, I'm going to put right above that. If it wasn't for running in to play the poet, it'd be in C, to be honest with you.
Really?
But I like the combo of that.
I feel like it's definitely one of those songs where, like, I wonder how you'd feel about it if you hadn't listened to it as a single. I think it's one of those ones where, like, the newer it is, the better it is as a song. But the more times I listen to it, I probably am gonna go down on it.
That's true. I didn't listen to it a ton though, because like I said, I was lukewarm on it when I heard it. Like,
really,
I didn't. Yeah, I was like, this is okay, but I didn't panic really because it definitely seemed like a Foo Fighters White Limo situation where they're like, hey, we're putting this weird song out as the first single.
Yeah.
As like, hey, we want you guys to take the temperature of this. the rest of the album isn't this weird, but it's maybe a little weird. So that's how I felt about it at the time. And I listened to it on stream quite a bit because it was on our playlist. But other than that, I didn't really listen to it a ton. Play the Poet, my favorite song. Put it in S tier because it's great. One Last Miracle, I'm going to say is A tier.
That's probably where I would put it.
Yep. Corner My Confidence, I'm going to put top of B to start.
I'd probably put it bottom of B personally right now.
Yeah, I know you would. This is my tier list. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Someone Who Can.
My bad. I'll be silent during this segment. My bad.
Can you shut up, please? You're stepping on my time. Okay.
My bad.
Someone Who Can is an S tier song. Welcome to Forever, Mr. Nobody is an A tier song.
Yeah, that's fair.
My fucking Siri is talking upstairs.
She's talking to Alexa right now.
Well, no, I'm sorry, not Siri, Alexa.
Alexa's talking to Siri.
What the fuck? I heard it and I was like, what is that? Tara's sleeping. For context, everybody, it is past midnight.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
She must have heard me? All right, Jay, you're on ghost duty. If you see a ghost behind me while we're recording, you gotta say something.
Guys, put it in the thumbnail. If you see a ghost, at what timestamp did you see the ghost?
The Flood, I also think is A tier, but just below Welcome to Forever, Mr. Nobody. Tethered Together is S tier, right there. And So It Goes. It's my least favorite, but it's still B. So that's my tier list. What do you think of it?
I'd probably put The Flood lower.
Oh, you would? Yeah, because this is your favorite song, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I've obviously put that up as well. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's respectable. You know, it's like, it's definitely not like the wrong answer, you know?
Right.
That's how I feel. Like, might be a little bit different, but it's not wrong.
Thank you. I agree. I think I'm right. All right. Cool. So that's anything else you want to say about Coheed? I mean, we've been talking about it for about 40 minutes now.
I mean, if I had to give it like an overall rating,
there we go. Do that.
Right now, I'm sitting at like it's like an A tier album right now. You know, I don't know if I can really give it a number yet and have it actually be like a legit. I haven't listened to it enough times.
Yeah, I'm not ready to rank it.
I'm giving it an A tier album right now.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not ready to rank it in the rest of their discography yet, but I think when I do, it will be pretty high up there.
Yeah.
It could break top 5. It really depends on...
I don't know. It's like hovering for me right now. Like,
yeah.
I'm leaning more not top 5, but again, I haven't listened to it enough yet.
Yep. That's fair.
I'm not in love, but I see the potential, you know?
Yeah, no. I'll go on a couple more dates, right?
Right.
Whatever. We'll see where we go.
I'm not ghosting it.
The fuck else am I doing, you know? Go on a couple more dates with her. So I guess our next topic, Jason, after we just took 40 minutes to talk about Coheed, is a topic that we pushed off from last week's episode due to time. And it's the what have you been playing topic. So, Jay, what have you been playing?
Recently, dude, I've been like really struggling as far as like, cause when I've been with the homies, you know, it's like some typical, you know, some Black Ops 6, which I've been really enjoying. But as far as like solo, I've really been struggling. My only solace has been Civ 6. It's kind of funny, you know. I'm either playing BO6 or I'm playing Civ 6.
Not 7.
You might be like, Jay, why not 7? 6 is just a better game right now, guys. It's a more complete game. 7's got a lot of issues, all right? But, you know, it's got some growing pains. Like, it could get better, you know? It's not worth $70 to me right now. Now when I have, like, a lot of 6 enjoyment I can still get, you know?
Yeah.
And I already own it.
Yeah, I when 7 was coming out, I was like, oh shit, I really want to play that. And then I looked and saw that I had only played like 45 minutes of 6. And I was like, yeah, I should probably play 6.
Bro
so
hadn't left the ancient era yet.
Right, basically, yeah.
6.
So I played 6 for a few weeks. I've also been playing a lot of Returnal, which is not a game I think I would typically be into because of the difficulty aspect of it. I'm not a big critical mode gamer, right? I'm not one of those guys, but it was free on my PlayStation Plus subscription, and I heard a lot of good things about it. And it's very Metroid-y.
I like the art style of it.
Yeah, it's definitely like if Nintendo sold Metroid to somebody else and let them make a game with it, you know?
Yeah, it's got that like nebulous aura that Metroid also has.
Yeah. Like, they don't tell you a lot. They just drop you into a spot, and you got to fight your way out, and there's aliens, right? The story's kind of nonsense. I've been paying attention, but not really, because it's kind of like, when there's a cutscene, I'll watch it, but when she's just, like, talking and she picks up, like, an audio log, I'm not listening.
Games have to do audio logs right for me. It either has to be, like, such S-tier writing that, like, I want to sit and wait, or, like, really good world building, like in an Arkham game, like I might just sit and listen to some thugs talk, you know? Like,
right.
Because they're doing some like good world building stuff,
right?
Or I got to be able to like move around, but it also have it be good quality, like a Borderlands audio log or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, these don't stop you. You walk through them, but I'm still not listening. But the game's really fun from a gameplay perspective. Like it's less about aiming where you shoot and more about dodging the bullets. Like you kind of just got to have your reticle in the area and it will hit, which is nice because a lot of the enemies have like weak spots and stuff and that you're supposed to shoot. And each enemy is kind of almost like a puzzle. Like, okay, this is how you take down this one. This is how you, like, there's these That's like cool. Kind of flying face hugger looking guys, and they usually come in pairs or 3 of them, and they'll either shoot like a range of like bullets at you that you have to dodge in like a V, or they'll shoot this like light beam that's like charging up, and if you let them go for too long without shooting them, the light beam will eventually start damaging you, right, and lock onto you. And so you have to play this game of, okay, one of them shooting the dots and the other one is shooting the light beam. I have to make sure I shoot the one with the light beam before it gets, because then it will stop and reset. And so you kind of play this game of shoot this one, shoot this one, shoot this one, shoot this one. And there's a lot of enemies like that are like puzzles in that way, and it's really interesting.
That's cool.
It's a roguelite, so you play through things over and over and over and over and over. When you die, you start over. There are certain progressive elements you get. Like, for example, at one point, you find like a little astronaut toy. Well, no, I guess that's not a good example of progressive because you lose it when you lose it. But you unlock the ability to have that. But you get a grappling hook at one point, and once you get a grappling hook, the generated areas will have grappling hook points, which they already had them in the first place, but you couldn't use them until you got the grappling hook.
Right.
So then you have the grappling hook forever, and so there's a lot of that.
That's cool.
I've beaten, I want to say 4 bosses, and I'm close to the 5th, but I haven't played in a few days. But no, it's a lot of fun. I really understand why people were praising it when it came out. Not normally my type of game, but
it always looked cool.
Yeah, I remember I watched our good friend Tatsumaki play some of it and was like, oh, this looks cool, but I think it's too hard for me. That was my takeaway. But one night it was on there free, and I was like, I'll give it a try. Why not? And I've been hooked ever since.
Yeah, the only thing that really stopped me from copping it was I heard it was kind of short. And so
I mean, I was
always like, I'll grab it once it's on sale kind of thing.
I think it's one of those ones that if you're saying, hey, these are how many levels it has, sure. But it's really replayable. Like all the levels are randomly generated. Like there's different rooms you'll encounter every time, but I don't know. I've been playing it for quite a bit, and maybe it's just because I'm bad, But I wouldn't complain about the length of it at all, personally.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like length to like buying it for full price at launch kind of thing, right? Like,
true, I did get it for free. That's true.
It was one of those ones where, yeah, if it was on sale, maybe I'd cop it, kind of thing. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Civ 6 because a YouTuber that I had watched a lot before just randomly started popping up on my feed a lot, and it was just like listening to them play Civ and like to go to sleep to, just like very nice. You know, like it's enough constant talking, but like it like tires my brain out, and then I can also just like not care about zoning out and falling asleep. Like it's not so captivating that I really care that much, right? Like, but I also just learned a lot about the game, and like it's had like several DLCs come out, and I had bought it at launch and like had like the special edition or whatever, so like I own all the DLC as well, but like the DLCs really added to that game and like on a foundational level, and so I really like the game. And like especially when you play with like a certain mod pack that like helps a lot of the like UI, like there's one where it's like a quick deals where you just press it and then it will show you, like, for example, like there's a resource in the game called like amenities, like a luxury resource, right? And you need those to make sure your cities are happy. And if you have a spare, like a copy of one, it will just basically field what is the best offer you'd give me to all of the civs available that would like care, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so like instead of having to be like, okay, I just got a spare luxury of, I don't know, spices. Now let me go to every single civ that I know and be like, what will you give me for this? All right, back out a menu, go to the next one. All right, put the spices in. All right, and then just like keep clicking gold until like they're like, not anymore. You know, like it saves so much time of that like tedium that the turns go a lot faster, and it feels like if that wasn't in the game, I wouldn't care. I do a lot less trading, and when I play other games with like a similar like issue, like when I play Total War 3 Kingdoms, the trading in it, like they immediately tell you how much something is worth, like how much they would want for it, basically. And like all you have to do is just like, okay, this has like +5 favor. Now you can get like +5 favor worth of resources from them, right? So like whether that's gold or like some random other thing, right? So I really like how the mods add to the accessibility of it, and then just through learning a lot about the game and like the different civs and stuff, it's just been really satisfying. I think I have like over 100 hours in it now.
Oh, wow.
I did not have many. Let me see. Also, the thing is that it's like it's turn based, right? So like even mid turn, I can just go, oh. Like, I have 120 hours, and I probably had, like, 10. Like, because I work from home, like, if there's nothing happening, I can just play Civ.
Play a few turns, right? You know?
Yeah, I can just...
Hell yeah.
It's just one more turn, you know? And then... Oh, some work came in, I could just immediately stop, and, like, I didn't even have to pause or anything, like...
Right.
So, it definitely lends itself to that.
For sure. Awesome. Our next topic, Jason. Happy Gilmore 2. Coming out in July. Netflix exclusive. Starring Adam Sandler.
I'm so excited for this movie. Like, ironically and unironically. You know?
Okay.
Like, it's a classic movie, but also, like... It's like there's you know, either the jokes that are actually legitimately really funny, like those will be good, but then the ones that are just like cringe, I'm still gonna laugh at, right? So like, I am so here for this movie. The only The only thing that would just like make it awful is if it is only cringe jokes.
Yeah.
But I
Which
have
is
enough
possible.
faith that it has some actual banger jokes.
So,
At least enough to like first time watch or something.
right.
Laugh.
I had
think
heard
it'll
this
be
was a
fun.
thing, but forgot about it. And then this morning, I'm getting ready for work, and Tara's getting ready for work. And she's watching a video on her phone. And I was like, what are you? She goes, holy shit. I'm like, what are you watching? And she goes, the trailer for Happy Gilmore 2. And I went, what? She's like, yeah. I was like, okay. Well, I think
Gilmore.
I said, I think that's going to be terrible. And she was like, why? I was like, oh, Ben Stiller's going to show up and he has a mustache. And she goes, that's why I said, holy shit.
How did you know? Bro, I literally was
why I
watching
said
and was
holy
like, I
shit.
don't remember the last time I saw Ben Stiller in a movie, bro.
Yeah. I hope that it's fun. Because a movie like that, it's just supposed to be fun, right?
Right.
I have a couple questions as to why it's being made. Specifically,
Adam Sandler wanted money.
well, Carl Weathers died a couple years ago, I think now. And it's like, why didn't you do it when Chubbs was alive, And I know he's dead in the movie too, but like you could have had a scene where he's like,
I mean, yeah.
hey, Happy, and he's like, look, my
Right.
hand's back. He does the same thing again, But yeah, I just kept riffing on that the rest of the morning, like, oh, here's the Mista lady, like, just
Dude,
like,
I'm gonna laugh so hard when that happens, though. Like, it's gonna be so fucking funny.
and Shooter McGavin's gonna be like, I'll go down to the bay. I just may. What do you say? Like, he's gonna do that.
Dude, you know what's gonna happen, right? Is like, there's gonna be some new bad guy. And, like, he's not going to be able to get over the hump, so now he needs Shooter McGavin to help him. But Shooter McGavin is on some, like, Thor Endgame shit, So he's got to get get Shooter McGavin back in order to have Shooter help him,
Okay. No, I like that.
Like, you already know that's what's going to happen.
I hope
but
that's
it's
the movie.
still going to be cinema, dude.
The guy's going to be like, Grizzly Adams did have a beard. And they were like, oh, Grizzly Adams, he said the thing from last time,
He's going to fist fight some celebrity.
He's going to piss on
sick,
Bob
dude.
Barker's grave, Price is wrong, bitch. It's going to be great.
It's going to be hilarious. I'm so here for it, dude. Just the context of going with our dad would just be so fucking funny.
Well, there's nowhere
too.
to go. It's on Netflix.
Oh.
That's part of the problem.
That kind of...
Yeah, it's Netflix exclusive. Netflix just keeps giving Adam Sandler buckets of money because people watch his movies.
People watch his shit, I guess, yeah.
Nope. They watch Hubie Halloween and shit. Hey,
the murder mystery movies were pretty good.
Yeah, I watched one of those. It was fine.
I haven't watched the second one, but I heard it was still just as good.
Okay. All right. So yeah, be on the lookout for Happy Gilmore 2. We'll when it comes out, we'll watch it and give a full review for you guys of Happy Gilmore 2. And I'm super excited to tell you guys that it was not good.
It's gonna be great.
Jason, it's time for the Japanese word of the day.
Oh, dude.
What do you got for us?
The word of the day. I had thought long and hard about this one. And, I've been playing a lot of Balatro. And
great game.
Balatro, who got me hooked on it? Shout out Jip214. He started playing it. And he posted some screenshots. And I watched him stream it to me a little bit. And then, like when, he's just learning the game. So, like, he's playing like shit, right?
So you got nostalgic for when you learned the game.
I was like, okay. It was kind of like one of those ones where it's like, you watch the mobile game ad and then you're like, bro, I could do it so much better than this.
Every time.
And that's the bait.
Yeah.
But I fell for the bait, but it was like an actual good game and I already own it, right? So, yeah. But, one of my favorite builds is the pairs build. And so today's word of the day is pairs.
Okay.
Nakama. Pairs.
Nakama?
Oh, shit. Fuck, bro. Actually, I fucked up, bro. It actually means peers.
Oh.
It means peers. I messed up, bro.
Not pairs?
Peers is actually the word of the day. Peers. For when you want to thank your peers, bro.
So,
shout out the peers.
So like
Nakama.
peers, like Nakama means like you and I are peers in this podcast.
Yes.
We are.
Yes. It could also be translated to comrade.
Oh, okay. For the communist in you, you know.
Yeah.
Little comrade action. All right, everybody. Yeah. Nakama means peers,
Nakama.
not
yeah.
pairs.
Shout out all the peers, dude. Yeah.
No shout out to
easily
the pairs.
confused.
Yeah, for sure. I could understand how someone.
Anyone.
I understand how someone could get that wrong multiple times.
True.
Speaking of things that people are going to get wrong, Jason, there is a God of War television show. I don't know if you know this. Amazon, you know, they got boatloads of money for Fallout, and they said, hey, we got another idea. And so this has been announced for a while, and there was a different showrunner on it. Ronald D. Moore has taken over the God of War show. Okay.
What else has he done?
He is the man behind Battlestar Galactica. Okay, a very beloved show.
Okay.
And there's a quote he had recently that I thought was interesting. And he says, right now I'm working on an adaptation of, there's a video game called God of War, a big title in the gaming world that Amazon has ordered 2 seasons of, and they've asked me to come in. So I'm literally in the writer's room and working on that. That's my new thing. Moore went on to say he's not a gamer, though he does enjoy some Defender, Asteroids, and Centipede. He says he took a stab at it, but the controllers threw him. Quote,
oh, no.
Press R1? Which one's R1? Oh, I'm dead, Moore said.
Nice. That inspires.
This is the guy who's in charge of the God of War television show. Corey Barlog, who's responsible for the 2018 God of War, he's still the executive producer on the show. So he's still involved, but the guy writing and running the show does not play video games, Jason. How do you feel about this?
I don't know that it super matters for the show, right? Like, obviously, like, he can just do what, like, any of us can and just watch somebody play through the game.
True.
Like, to get an idea of the source material, right? And so maybe he'll get, maybe he'll get addicted to watching Twitch or something, or YouTube.
Dude, maybe he'll check out our playthrough.
Yeah, true.
Ronald D. Moore, I love Battlestar Galactica.
When they say kill the boy in the show, it'll be cinema.
Yeah, that would be good.
I feel like, he ran a other beloved show. They're being able to, like, tell the story is what really matters. And, like, if you can be true to the source material as far as, like, what the feeling of, like, being in the game is like, right? Or like
the
like
world,
bringing that game to life, that world, and immediately being able to be like, oh, that's Fallout. Oh, that's God of War. Yeah.
No, I agree.
I have 2 demands for the show. All right, that's it. Just 2 demands. 1, Bear McCreary has to do the music. I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
You already work with Bear, Amazon. You already work with Bear for Rings of Power.
Yep.
Just hire the boy. Okay?
Well, and it's not like he doesn't work on TV shows already. You know what I mean? Like,
Rings of Power, like, and you already work with him. Like, what?
Right.
Give me Bear. My second demand is a bit steeper. You fucking cowards. Cast Christopher Judge as Kratos. He's fucking big and jacked already. And he is Kratos, bro. That would be so fucking fire, bro.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do that.
That would be so
Do you know who it's going to be?
Fire.
It's gonna be Pedro Pascal.
Oh my god, I'll kill
Pedro
myself.
Pascal now.
I'll kill myself, bro.
Dude, he's good in the Last of Us show.
If it's like him or like Chris Hemsworth or somebody like
It's gonna
some
be
overused actor, I will kill myself.
It's gonna be Walton Goggins.
No, I love Walton Goggins. Terrible casting there.
Chris Pratt.
Let Walton Goggins be Freya's son.
Let him be Mimir.
Ooh,
Yeah, who's gonna be Mimir, dude?
Oh shit, I didn't think about Mimi. Oh shit.
It's gonna be Jack Black. Look at me, I'm a fucking hand.
No.
I'm attached to his belt. I can't see shit.
Oh my god, no. Please, no.
Kratos, you're on fire. It will pass. He's just gonna keep just saying the shit from the fucking.
Oh my
fucking
god.
game. Kratos, you're on fire. It will pass. Yeah, so we'll see.
Those are my two demands.
There's not a release date on this God of War show other than they're working on it. It sounds pretty early, but I think it's insane,
Right.
one, that there's 2 seasons of it. They've already just said, hey,
That's
2
pretty
seasons.
crazy.
I think they saw, my guess is they saw how good Fallout went for them, and they probably wish they would have ordered a second season sooner.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't.
Yeah. And the same with The Last of Us for HBO. Like, that went, crazy. That was a cultural moment for a lot of people. It was a really good show. So I think they're probably like, hey, if we put the money into this and we do it right, there's a big audience for this stuff. So yeah, we're gonna do 2 seasons.
I wonder where they're just gonna start from, like the OG.
Well, it's based
Like,
based
I don't
on
know.
God of War 2018. So I don't.
Okay.
I don't think they're gonna go back to fucking Grecian
Ares!
Kratos.
Destroy my enemies.
I mean, I'm
and
sure
my life is yours.
I'm sure they'll do flashbacks.
Flashbacks, yeah, no, and that's like I was talking with Fabio about this and Carson. Shout out the homies, and I was like, it's like the most overused storytelling device in TV shows, but it just fucking works, bro. Like when you can, like, Fallout uses it. Another classic that uses it I really like is Arrow, where like you have your present day story happening, and then you just keep going back to like way before. But then you're also, building up more stuff, and there's the side stuff. Like it's still the same characters, and it still uses the same characters. And the reason I was actually talking about it is because I've been watching Solo Leveling with Jip and Swarls, and they do that in Solo Leveling, and it just works. Like, because you're not having to, when you have a show that has too many storylines and too many characters, it becomes a lot harder, because like while it might affect everybody in the cast, you're like diluting the amount of screen time each character has. Whereas when you're going back in time just to the same character, you're just continuing to build on that character without having to progress the story.
Right.
So it just works so well. So if they were to do something like that in God of War, that could be fire.
I think that would probably
and then that
be
way,
the way to
they
do
can
it.
like get past a lot of the like really problematic parts of that without having to change it. So,
well, but here's the thing, though.
like you can allude to certain parts, but like not necessarily have to show it.
Well, right. Well, for sure they're not. Yeah, but like that's part of what makes that story so meaningful, is that he was not a good person, right? And a lot of the stuff he did was terrible, awful things, and I hope they don't skip over that, because that's kind of, to me, integral.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm excited. If it's anything like Fallout, I'm excited, because we still haven't finished it, but we
have
really
like one episode or something.
Yeah, we literally
2?
that was post charity stream last year. We sat there and watched every episode except one, and then you went home.
I was so hungover because we just decided to drink after like basically degenerately playing games for like we were clocked in, you know? Like we were clocked in for a week and then we were like, let's drink with the homies, and then I got really hungover.
Yeah, that was rough. It was fun, but it was rough. But
so we just sat and watched like all of Fallout.
And then we had one episode left and you were like, yeah, I'm gonna go home. I was like, all right, yeah, let's go.
Well, no, you wanted to stop.
Did I?
Yeah, you wanted to stop because you were like, I gotta be up or something like that. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, I probably had to be up to work. But if we wouldn't have watched all of I Think You Should Leave right before it, we probably could have finished.
Yeah.
Last topic of today, and this is a beefy show for you guys. We have the question of the week. We didn't leave enough time last time, but it was very obvious that we didn't. This week's question
I didn't play it in my head last time, okay?
Yeah. This week's question of the week comes from you, Jason. What's your question of the week?
I have just gotten over the worst stomach flu I've ever had in my entire life. Felt like I had a brick of uranium in my stomach.
That's what I felt like too when I had mine.
And it was just irradiating out both ends. Mm-hmm. And it was terrible. So I'm just suffering because I can't even sleep, right? Like,
right.
It's too uncomfortable, can't even sleep. So I'm like, fuck it. If I'm gonna suffer, I might as well like play some video games or something, right? And so I had been feeling some like RPG kind of shit, and I was like, you know what? I've been itching, let me play some Elden Ring, right? But then duty calls, and you can't fucking pause the game in Elden Ring because
that's true.
You can pause buffer. Fuck you, Elden Ring devs, by the way. So I had to drop Elden Ring. So I go, fuck, bruh. And I don't have two brain cells to rub together, too, right? Because, like, I just had to run and evacuate after evacuating my room.
Right.
Okay? And I come back and I'm fucking dead on Elden Ring. So I'm like, okay, I don't have two brain cells to rub together. So I'm like, yo, what is a good game to play while sick on Google? And so that is what this week's question of the week is. What is the best game to play while sick? What is your go-to game to play while sick? Like whether or not you gotta pause. You gotta be able to pause. Like, you gotta be able to pause, bro. Elden Ring, not it. So what about you, Mike?
So for me, I tend to, when I'm not feeling well, play games that are less fast-paced. So like something like a Balatro. Something like a Sim City style game, or a roller coaster tycoon / park attack. Something where it's like, hey, I'm just building something and I'm just chilling, because that's the stuff that like I'm calm. If I gotta run and take a shit, I can. Sometimes it's beneficial to let time pass in those games, right? Not Balatro necessarily, but it's like, man, I'm just waiting for my population to jump up. I'm gonna go take a shit, and you are risking that like something caught fire or something, but most of the time it's all right. So,
what do you hire your workers for?
Exactly. So that's kind of where I'm leaning. Another one I really like, that could have fell into last week's question of the week as well that I didn't mention is what the fuck? It just like left my brain. Oxygen Not Included.
Ooh.
Oxygen Not Included is it's not a builder, but it's a survival game made by the people who made Don't Starve.
Right.
But basically, you start a colony on a meteor, and you build different things and mine and dig, and you just assign your little cronies to do it for you. So you do kind of build. It's kind of like building a city, but it's more just like building like an area. And then eventually you can like build rockets to go to other meteors and do all this stuff. But I have a really the game has a really cozy place in my heart for whatever reason. I've played probably 200 hours of that game. because when it's
I like
time
the aesthetic of that game.
yeah, when it's
I
time
only
to
ever
chill,
like seen you play it a bit.
when it's time to chill, it's like, this is a game I'm gonna play. It does get stressful sometimes though, but not usually till you get real late game. So that'd be my answer.
Yeah, for me, what I ended up just falling into, and what a lot of people, it's funny, we talked about it earlier in the streams, I just ended up playing a lot of Civ 6 again, because, like, hey, if I got a shit, I got a shit,
Yeah.
you know? Like,
Gandhi
it
can
happened a lot. It happened a lot.
Yeah.
Like, a lot.
Yeah.
But the other one that I actually ended up gravitating towards is Shadow of Mordor. Like those like Arkham style combat kind of games. Cause like, you know, you can pause whenever you need to. It's something I'm like familiar with, you know, I've played before. I've just been going through 100%ing it on Steam, and yeah, there's just something about some British orcs that just tickles my fancy, you know? Just butters my biscuit, you know?
You just reminded me of something I've wanted to tell you for a while now. Because you said British.
What could this possibly be?
I know why you haven't watched this show. I get it. Because I was in the same boat. But you need to watch What We Do in the Shadows.
Okay. I thought you were going to say Arcade.
No. Because Matt Berry is one of the vampires. He's a British actor. And he has like one of those really heavy like British accents. And the way he says things is so like he's playing it up. It's so fucking funny. Part of the joke is just how he says things. Like he'll just be like, New York City, like that. And it's just like, okay. I'm just like diabolically laughing. There's this bit in the newest season where he's trying to trick this actor, and so he like shows up with a chef hat on, and he's like, would you like a meal? A Chinese succulent meal. Like they do that meme, right? But he says it, and the way he says it is just so funny, dude. And he's hilarious. I mean, and the whole show's really funny, but that's my favorite part about it is Matt Berry's ridiculous.
Just being British.
Just being like overly British. Like like the most British that's anyone's ever been British. So not just to Jason, but to anybody watching, I highly recommend you watch What We Do in the Shadows. It's for context, it's a show about vampires living among humans in Staten Island, and the hijinks they get up to and how they survive, and it's also about their familiar, who Guillermo, who is a chubby guy, and he really wants to be turned into a vampire. So he's been in their service for years, and that's kind of where the show kicks off, and it's really, really funny. So watch it. Especially if you like British accents.
British people being British.
British people being British, and orcs being British people.
Yeah, British orcs is like a bit different though, you know? It's like this is fucking British, you know? Like,
looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
Yeah. Nah, dude, I'm just so sad that like they killed that franchise by basically. It was during that time when gamers finally got upset with microtransactions in games, in single player games. Like it was like around like Battlefront coming out, like Battlefront 2, the new one.
Yep, because they did it with Shadow of War, right?
Time. Yeah, they did it with Shadow of War, where Shadow of War had some, and like basically how they had it in the game. If it wasn't for the finale, I wouldn't have even mind at all, because they had this online component in the game where basically you would conquer a fortress and you'd own that fortress, and you could spend the in-game currency that you got from doing everything to upgrade and have like specific things to your castle. And it didn't really take long to get like exactly what you wanted. The main thing was just like you had to get to a certain like player level just through playing the game in order to achieve certain upgrades, right? It was never really the currency. So it wasn't like, oh, I'm needing to buy the currency or something, right? The thing that was like the pay to win part is like certain like perks on orcs, but like you could still just go get that yourself. Like, you could just, like, buy packs of orcs, basically. Like, orc commanders. And, like, oh, these ones all have, like, a legendary fire upgrade. Or all, like, it... The only reason it really mattered was because how they did the finale, like, without, like, having spoilers, basically you end up, like, and it's different than it. Like, they changed the ending. Like, how the ending plays. But originally, you had to defend that castle, and, like, all those castles. So you had to like upgrade all of them and also get like all your orcs to like certain levels. And each time you would defend, you would have to like it would get stronger. So you'd have to like level up the orcs a bunch, or you could pay for these packs and it would like give you like higher ones to like the level that you're at that you would need.
But why would
right?
you want to do that? Because wouldn't you want to just play the game?
Right, and but the thing is that you had to do it 10 times, and it was like very blatantly drawn out in order to make you want to spend money, right?
Gotcha.
But then the other component of it that I didn't mind at all... Yeah, exactly. The other part of it that I didn't mind at all was that, let's say I have my strongest castle set to my profile. If my homie wants to raid my castle, if he beats it, it will, like, affect my world or whatever, right? So, like, maybe my, like, it, like, levels up one of my characters, or, like, one of my orcs or whatever, because it killed him or something, right? Or, like, basically there was, like, rankings where, based on your power level of all your orcs and all of your upgrades, you'd have a certain rating and stuff. And you could also get, like, materials and stuff for beating other players' castles and stuff like that. And so, it was just, like, a fun semi, like, not like MMO, but like it made the games feel connected, like, because you could like interact with what their castle is and like who their exact orcs were and stuff. And that part of it was cool, but obviously like the pay to win part of it is like kind of cringe, but like you don't have to interact with that part. You could just do it as much as you want with your friends or like random people that are like, it would like suggest people who are around your same power level. So it didn't really matter. It was mainly just that last part. But I'm just so, anyway, all this to say, I'm just so sad that because they did this to this game, it like killed this franchise in their minds at Warner Brothers. And like, they're such good games, and like, it's not like they like, oh, ran out of material. Like they basically had at a point where like, they could have just like kept going with it. Like it was already non-canon. So, like, you could just keep fucking going. Like, just make more. Like,
but they did, and now they don't exist anymore.
Now they don't exist. And also, they're the only games with the Nemesis system, which is, like, a banging-ass system. Where, like, let's say I kill an orc by, like, chopping off both his arms and then stabbing him in the stomach, right? Like, that's the finisher that happens when I kill this, like, orc captain, right? That orc will have a chance to revive and then come back with like metal arms, right? Like, or like it's like they put the arm back on, but like there's like metal like attaching the arm back on or something. Or like if I killed him with like poison or whatever, like maybe he has this like disfigured like burn marks, or like there's literally ones where like they have like maggots growing in their skin or whatever because of it, and like they can like continue to come back unless you kill them in a certain way. And like they just like keep coming back after you and like will show up at like opportune times to try and kill you. And so you like genuinely have this nemesis, like, and sometimes it's unfair, but it's in a way that like it makes it memorable and unique every single time, because it's like procedurally generated and it's like done like it's procedurally, but like done well enough to where it doesn't feel so like vague or ununique, like
For sure.
how like No Man's Sky would at launch or something, right?
Right,
Like,
right.
it's still done at a high enough quality that it's like very unique every time. So it's a shame. They need to make more games like that.
Well, they own that copyright to the system till like 2033 is what I read. So not going to be happening unless they put it in a Harris Plopper game or something.
Somehow, 2033 only 8 years away. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird?
I didn't like that. Anyway,
8 years ago, 2017.
Oh.
Anyway, so that's been your mental boom of the week.
Yeah, play the
We're all
fucking
gonna
noise.
have a
Play the
midlife
fucking noise.
crisis now.
Play the fucking noise right now. Holy shit. All right, well, we maybe by 2033 we'll know how to end this podcast properly because we still don't know. I want to hear your ideas.
Unlikely.
I want to hear everybody's ideas in the chat. Chat, come up with some ideas on how to end the show.
Yeah.
All right. What should
And
Jason
let us know
say?
what your go-to I'm sick game is.
Yeah,
I
let us
flew
know.
up.
Zach is gonna say Overwatch no matter what.
Maybe that's why he's sick.
Yeah, that
In the head.
you're keeping yourself sick, buddy. Anyway, thank you guys for listening and watching. We will be back next week with another banger, less Coheed and Cambria talk, I promise. But hey, if you liked that, go listen because they're good. And finally, before we let you guys go, thank you to everybody who supported us with this. Please go listen on your favorite podcasting service like you already have, and give us a 5-star review on whatever that is, and share with your friends. And maybe you had a friend who liked the Ansem Report, but they're like, man, the SpikeGhetti Bros really fell off. And you could be like, no, they didn't. Look at this podcast.
Look, they're alive.
Look, they're alive and they're cool. So that would be really cool if you guys did that. So thank you. I appreciate it. And we will see you next week. Goodbye.